Let me ask you something. How do you start your mornings? For most people today, it looks something like this. The alarm goes off, you hit snooze 2 or 3 times, you finally drag yourself out of bed, and the first thing you do is grab your phone. Suddenly you're staring at emails, notifications, social media feeds, news alerts, and before you've even brushed your teeth, your mind is already overwhelmed. You're reacting to the world before you've even had a chance to set your own tone. And then you wonder why you feel rushed, stressed, and behind all day long. Now compare that to the way Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, began his mornings. This was a man running the largest empire in the world, facing constant wars, political pressure, personal loss, and yet he still made time every morning to ground himself with Stoic reflections. He would remind himself of who he wanted to be, what he could control, what really mattered. His mornings weren't about chaos, they were about clarity. And that's what made him strong enough to handle the chaos that came later. That's the power of a Stoic morning routine. It's not about gimmicks. It's not about a $100 smoothie or the latest productivity hack. It's about starting your day with intention, with calm, with strength. It's about training your mind before the world starts trying to pull it in 1,000 directions. And the good news is, you don't need to be an emperor to practice this. You can start tomorrow. You can start today. So in this video, I want to walk you through what a Stoic-inspired morning routine looks like. We're going to take lessons straight from Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, and apply them to modern life. I'll show you how to wake up with purpose, how to ground yourself before the chaos hits, how to carry Stoic quotes and practices into your morning so you feel stronger and calmer all day long. And trust me, this doesn't require hours. You can do this in as little as 15 minutes. Here's where it starts. The very first thought you have in the morning. Marcus Aurelius would remind himself each day, when you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. Imagine waking up and instead of groaning, instead of dreading your inbox, you pause and remind yourself of that. Gratitude. Life itself is a privilege. Just starting with that one reflection changes your entire morning energy. Gratitude replaces dread. Calm replaces chaos. That's step 1. The second step is remembering what's in your control. Marcus often reminded himself that during the day he would meet people who were rude, selfish, jealous, or ignorant. But he didn't use that as an excuse to be bitter. He used it to prepare his mind. He'd say, "They cannot harm me because I will not let them. I control my mind." Think about how powerful it would be to start your day with that reminder. Before the meetings, before the arguments, before the traffic, you remind yourself, I cannot control the world, but I can control me. That's the anchor of a Stoic morning. And here's the third piece, negative visualization. The Stoics practiced imagining potential challenges, not to depress themselves, but to prepare. In the morning, you can take 2 minutes and imagine, what if my meeting today goes badly? What if traffic is horrible? What if I lose the deal I've been hoping for? Then remind yourself, I can handle it. I will remain calm. I will act with integrity. Doing this shrinks the power of fear. It's like mental armor. By the time the problem actually arrives, you've already rehearsed your response. Nothing catches you off guard. So if you're building a Stoic morning routine, start with these 3 things. Gratitude for being alive, remembering what's in your control, and preparing for challenges with negative visualization. Do that before you touch your phone, before you check the news, before you dive into work. Give yourself even 5 or 10 minutes of Stoic grounding, and you'll carry that calm into the rest of your day. Now let's build on those first few steps. Gratitude, remembering what's in your control, and negative visualization, and move into the practical habits that can turn a Stoic morning routine into something real, something you can actually live out every day. Because a routine isn't just about ideas, it's about action. One of the most powerful Stoic habits for the morning is journaling. Now I know what you're thinking. Journaling sounds like a lot of work, or maybe you've tried it before and it didn't stick. But hear me out. Journaling the Stoic way isn't about writing pages and pages like you're trying to publish a book. It's about taking 5 minutes to check in with your own mind. That's it. Marcus Aurelius's Meditations, the book so many people read today, was literally just his private journal. He wasn't writing for us. He was writing to remind himself of how he wanted to live. You can do the same. So here's how you can practice it. When you wake up, grab a notebook. Nothing fancy, just a place to write. Ask yourself 3 questions. What do I need to focus on today that's within my control? What challenges might I face, and how can I respond wisely? And what virtue do I want to practice today? Wisdom, courage, temperance, or justice? Write down your answers quickly. No editing, no overthinking. In less than 5 minutes, you've set the tone for your day. You've given your mind a compass, and when things get messy later, you can look back at that page and remind yourself of what you committed to in the calm of the morning. The second habit is carrying a Stoic quote with you. The Stoics knew the mind forgets, which is why they repeated wisdom over and over again. So pick a line that resonates with you and make it your theme for the day. Maybe it's Marcus Aurelius, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Maybe it's Seneca, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Or maybe it's Epictetus, don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Whatever line you choose, write it down, put it on a sticky note, put it in your phone, keep it somewhere you'll see it often, and then actually repeat it to yourself throughout the day. The repetition isn't silly, it's training. Every time you repeat it, you're strengthening that mental muscle. The third habit is silence. We live in a world that drowns us in noise. Podcasts, music, notifications, conversations. There's always something pulling at your attention. But the Stoics believed in the power of silence, of sitting with yourself. So before you rush into your day, take a few minutes to sit quietly. No phone, no music, no distractions. Just breathe. Let your mind settle. This might feel uncomfortable at first. Your brain will want to reach for something to fill the silence. But if you stick with it, that stillness becomes a source of strength. It's in that silence that you hear your own thoughts clearly. It's in that silence that you remember who you are, not just what the world wants from you. Now think about how different your morning feels if you combine these habits. You wake up and instead of grabbing your phone, you grab a notebook and ground yourself with a quick journal. You choose a Stoic quote and let it become your anchor for the day. And then you give yourself a few minutes of silence before the noise begins. That's not complicated. It doesn't take hours. But the impact is massive. You start the day clear, focused, and calm instead of rushed and reactive. And here's the beautiful part. You don't have to do it perfectly. Some mornings you'll miss it. Some mornings you'll feel tired and forget. That's okay. The goal isn't perfection, it's practice. Every time you return to it, every time you choose discipline over distraction, you're building the Stoic mindset. And over time, those small, simple habits stack up. They make you steadier. They make you stronger. They make you ready for whatever the day throws at you. One of the most underrated pieces of Marcus Aurelius's morning routine was how brutally honest he was about the day ahead. He didn't sugarcoat it. He didn't wake up saying, today is going to be perfect, everyone will be kind, and nothing will go wrong. No, he wrote to himself, today you will meet people who are meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. That was how he prepared his mind before he even stepped into the day. And at first, that might sound negative. Why start your day expecting the worst from people? But if you think about it, it's actually freeing. Because when you prepare yourself mentally for difficulties, you're no longer shocked when they show up. You already knew they were coming. And so instead of reacting with frustration, you respond with calm acceptance. Think about how different that is from the way most of us operate. Most of us wake up hoping everything will go smoothly. And then the first rude email, the first bad driver on the road, the first annoying coworker derails our mood completely. We think, why is this happening? Why are people so awful? But Marcus's approach prevents that spiral. He started the day knowing people will act according to their nature. Some will be selfish, some will be rude, some will be careless. That's not a personal attack. That's just human nature. And if you know that ahead of time, you don't waste energy being surprised. You stay steady. Here's how you can practice this as part of your Stoic morning. Before you head out the door, take a minute and think, what challenges might I face today? Maybe your boss will be demanding. Maybe traffic will be bad. Maybe your partner will be stressed. Maybe the project you're working on will hit a snag. Instead of pretending the day will be flawless, admit these possibilities up front, and then tell yourself, I can handle them. I can respond with patience, with courage, with clarity. When those challenges show up, you won't be thrown off balance because you already rehearsed them in your mind. That's what Marcus was doing every morning. And it doesn't stop with people. The Stoics prepared themselves for all kinds of setbacks. Seneca practiced what's called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. He would imagine losing wealth, losing status, even losing loved ones. Not to torture himself, but to prepare. He believed that if you face loss in your mind ahead of time, you'll be less shaken if it happens in reality. Now that might sound harsh, but think about it. If you go through life pretending bad things will never happen, you'll be devastated when they do. But if you train yourself to accept that setbacks are part of life, you'll be steadier. You won't like them, but you won't be destroyed by them. So imagine combining Marcus's morning reminder about difficult people with Seneca's practice of visualizing possible setbacks. That's a powerful 1-2 punch for your mindset. You're reminding yourself, today will bring challenges, people will be imperfect, things may not go my way. And then you're reminding yourself, but I have the strength to endure it. I can remain calm, I can remain virtuous, I can remain myself no matter what comes. That's the armor of a Stoic morning routine. Now let's put this in a modern context. Picture yourself waking up for a Monday. You know your inbox is going to be full. You know your kids are going to resist getting ready for school. You know traffic will test your patience. Instead of being blindsided by all of that, you sit quietly for 2 minutes and prepare. You tell yourself, there will be rude emails, there will be delays, there will be noise, but none of that can control me. I own my mind, I own my response. And when those things happen, you smile a little because you saw them coming. That tiny shift alone can change the way you carry yourself all day. This is what it means to forecast your day like a Stoic. It's not pessimism. It's realism with preparation. It's saying, life will be messy, but I will not be broken by it. And that attitude, built every morning, is what makes you resilient. Marcus Aurelius could face wars, betrayals, disease, and still find peace because he armed his mind before the day began. And if he could do that while carrying the weight of an empire, you and I can do it before carrying the weight of our inbox or our daily commute. We've talked about the mindset practices of a Stoic morning: gratitude, journaling, forecasting the day, carrying a quote. But the Stoics also understood that philosophy isn't just something that happens in your head. It's lived through your body, through your actions, through the way you move and eat and breathe. They believed in treating the body with respect, but not indulgence. And that principle can guide how you structure the physical side of your mornings. Let's start with movement. The Stoics didn't write about going to the gym, but they did write about discipline and strength. Musonius Rufus, one of the great Stoic teachers, said that philosophy and training go hand in hand, because both build resilience. So when you wake up, moving your body, even in simple ways, is a Stoic practice. You don't have to run 5 miles or do an hour of weights. It can be as simple as stretching, taking a short walk outside, doing a few push-ups or breathing exercises. The point isn't vanity. The point is discipline. You're reminding yourself that you are capable, that you can do hard things, that you can master yourself before the day begins. That kind of physical discipline carries over into mental discipline. Now let's talk about breathing. The Stoics practiced calm and composure, and one way to anchor that in your morning is through intentional breathing. Think of it as training your mind through your body. Before Marcus Aurelius picked up his duties for the empire, he often wrote to himself about remaining calm in the storm. Today, we can practice the same by taking 2 minutes each morning to just breathe deeply and slowly. Inhale, hold, exhale. Focus on the breath. It grounds you, it reminds you that you're alive, and it builds a little pocket of peace that you can carry into the rest of your day. Food is another area where the Stoics had strong opinions. Seneca often wrote about eating simply, not indulging in luxury. He believed the more we tie our happiness to expensive meals, the weaker we become. So if you're building a Stoic morning routine, keep your breakfast simple. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be Instagram-worthy. A bowl of oats, a piece of fruit, eggs, something nourishing but not indulgent. The point isn't punishment, it's freedom. When you learn to be satisfied with simple things, you free yourself from constant craving. And that mindset, practiced every morning, strengthens you for the rest of the day. And let's not forget how you set up your environment. The Stoics valued order. They believed your surroundings affect your mind. So take 2 minutes to make your bed, tidy your space, put things in place. It might sound trivial, but it's not. When you begin your day in a space that feels calm and ordered, your mind mirrors that order. You're less likely to feel scattered, less likely to feel overwhelmed. It's a physical action that reinforces mental clarity. Now picture this as a full routine. You wake up, and before you reach for your phone, you take a moment of gratitude. You write a short journal entry. You reflect on a Stoic quote. You forecast the challenges of the day. Then you stretch or walk or move your body. You take a few deep breaths. You eat a simple meal, and you tidy your space. None of these things take hours. Altogether, you could do them in 20 or 30 minutes, but the impact is huge. By the time you leave the house or open your laptop, you're not rushed, not reactive, not pulled in 1,000 directions. You're calm, you're grounded, you're carrying the discipline and clarity of a Stoic into whatever chaos comes next. This is what makes a Stoic morning different from just another productivity routine. It's not about squeezing in more tasks or checking more boxes. It's about aligning your body and mind with wisdom and virtue before the world starts trying to distract you. It's about remembering that strength comes from simplicity, that discipline builds freedom, that calm begins with how you choose to start the day. And if you do this consistently, your mornings stop being chaotic and start being sacred. They become the foundation for a stronger mindset that lasts all day. So let's step back and look at what we've built. A Stoic morning routine isn't complicated. It isn't about following trends or buying the latest gadget. It's about preparing your mind and body before the world tries to pull you in every direction. It's about starting with clarity instead of chaos, with strength instead of weakness. And the best part, it's simple, it's timeless, and it's something you can start tomorrow. Think about the pieces we've put together. Gratitude, reminding yourself that being alive is already a gift. Control, remembering that your power lies in your mind, not in outside events. Preparation, forecasting the day's challenges so you're not blindsided when they show up. Journaling, writing down what you want to focus on and how you want to live. Anchoring, choosing one Stoic quote to carry with you. Silence, taking a few minutes to breathe and settle your mind. Discipline, moving your body, eating simply, creating order in your space. These are not random habits. They are practices rooted in Stoic philosophy, tested over thousands of years, proven in the lives of emperors and philosophers, and now available for you to practice in your own bedroom, your own kitchen, your own life. And here's the truth. You don't have to do all of them perfectly every day. You don't need a 2-hour morning routine to live like Marcus Aurelius. You just need intention. Even if you start with one piece, just journaling for 5 minutes, or just carrying a quote, or just taking 2 minutes of silence, that's enough to begin. Because the Stoics didn't aim for perfection, they aimed for practice. They knew the mind needs training every day. And the more often you return to it, the stronger you get. Now imagine this. You wake up tomorrow, and instead of grabbing your phone first thing, you sit up, breathe, and say to yourself, "Today I will face challenges, but I will remain steady." You write a quick journal note about what's in your control. You carry a quote with you as your anchor. You eat something simple, you move your body, you set your space in order. Then you step into your day not as a victim of whatever happens, but as someone prepared to meet it with strength. That's the power of a Stoic morning routine. It's not about controlling the world. It's about mastering yourself before the world even begins. And if you do this consistently, here's what happens. Your mornings stop being rushed, your days stop feeling overwhelming, and your mindset grows stronger every week. You become the kind of person people notice. Calm in traffic, steady at work, patient in relationships, resilient in setbacks. That's not luck. That's training. That's the Stoic way. So here's my challenge to you. For the next 7 mornings, try it. Build your own Stoic morning routine. You don't have to copy mine exactly. Make it yours. But commit to something. Journal. Forecast your day. Carry a quote. Do it for 1 week, and I promise you will feel the difference. And once you feel it, keep going. Because this is not just a routine, it's a way of life. If Marcus Aurelius could lead an empire and still find time for this practice, you and I can find time too. And the reward is priceless. A stronger mindset, a calmer spirit, a steadier life. That's the gift of Stoicism, and it begins every morning. So start tomorrow. And if you want to keep walking this path with me, subscribe, because we're going to keep learning from Marcus, from Seneca, from Epictetus, and applying their wisdom to our modern lives. Share this with someone who needs calmer mornings, and drop a comment below. What will you add to your Stoic morning routine tomorrow? Let's practice this together, because at the end of the day, mornings shape everything. And if you start your day like Marcus Aurelius, you'll find the strength to live like a Stoic all the way through.